Liberation greetings to all the people, the great warriors of the Southern Cameroons. Liberation greetings to all the very resilient and tough-minded people of the Southern Cameroons of Ambazonia. Today is Saturday, March 12th, 2022. As I promised yesterday, I am here today for us to get into the real nitty-gritties of what is happening across the Mongo, because this concerns us today more than it has ever concerned us before. My people of the Southern Cameroons, I'd like to salute your resilience. I want to salute our resilience. I want to salute our bravery. I want to salute your bravery. Listen, there are some who are struggling so hard to make us think. To make us think that as the days go by, we are losing followers to this movement. That is not just a lie. It's a very fat lie. But that is the manipulation that La République du Cameroun has wanted to hinge their action on all this while. That is why by day and by night, La République du Cameroun will do everything to try to recast the make-believe philosophy that they have become accustomed to. That is why, my people, I'm opening back the studio. Look to my left and to my right. This is by design. So that whoever wants to doubt, these are Southern Cameroonians that you are seeing. This was September 22, 2017. Recast it today, you have more than this. To my left, to my right, these are Southern Cameroonians. These are not Amber Boys. At the time this happened, Amber Boys were not in existence. They were not yet. They have not shown their heads yet. But these are millions of Southern Cameroonians. You can see that you find it difficult to count. Look to my left, to my right. These are Southern Cameroonians. When this happened, we had not yet started witnessing La République du Cameroon's scorched earth policy, which has rather grown instead of thinning our ranks, which has pushed many more Southern Cameroonians to begin to discern, to understand that what we have been telling them over the years is the truth, that there is nothing as sweet as home, that freedom is something golden, something so true, something so wonderful, something so eternally true that is worth dying for. They are noticing this by day and by night. My people of the Southern Cameroons, they have fought so hard to try to tell the world we have cleared them. Now it's just some little minority, minuscule fraction of people making noise. But it has not worked. Listen, when I saw this tweet, and I think I talked about it yesterday, but I did not illustrate it as much as I want to do now. Take a look back at this tweet by Tibor Nagy. There is a thing in it I want to say. He said, whatever direction Ambazonians, look, first of all, the use of the word Ambazonia. The world is gradually coming to terms with the fact that Ambazonia has come to stay. Ambazonia here does not mean part of La République du Cameroun, no. Once you begin talking Ambazonia, you are departing from the historical construct, which is the Southern Cameroons, now into the perspectives of what the people of Southern Cameroons want to do. We want to repossess our country and rename it Ambazonia. And we have drummed it to the point that across the world, they now know that we want to be called Ambazonia. They now know that they need to call us Ambazonia. They now know that whether the world likes it or not, Ambazonia has come to stay. And that is why in this tweet, I look at this. Whatever direction Ambazonians decide to pursue, one certainty is the current status is unacceptable to 100% of Southern Cameroonians. Listen, this is very strong. It's not coming from us. He said even the Cameroon government must see this. The only question, when will change come and how much more suffering? Tragic beyond words. Now, I didn't intend to begin with this. I had something to say about it later on in the program. But I brought this up here because of the game of numbers that La République has tried to play. Because of what La République du Cameroun continues to try to want to sell out there under what they call la guerre de l'usure. That's the war of time. To get us to wane out, to tire out, and then our numbers reduce. We lose followers, and people begin to, lose faith in our dream. They have tried a lot by all means. Burnt down villages, they have not attained that objective. Killed, maimed people, they have not attained that objective. Spent a lot of money to promote the so-called Southwest-Northwest divide, they did not attain their objective. Now, they have done everything to plant even, a lot of their apparatchiks in our movements, to implode it from within by causing us to have sit-tight people here and there, and suddenly find yourself with, every group imploding, groups imploding. According to them, this cacophony that will be caused by the division would disenfranchise a lot of people, will cause us to lose a lot of followers, a lot of supporters to the Southern Cameroon's cause. My people of Ambazonia, once you know your enemy's modus operandi, once you know the playbook from which is coming, what do? You set in place ante. And that's why I want to doff my heart. I want to congratulate those on the CDN platform who at this specific moment I'm talking are meeting somewhere and discussing how to solidify the bonds between our movements, groups, and organizations. I know it's a hard job, but gradually we will get there. We will get there, my people. We will get there, Southern Cameroonians. We will get there, Ambazonians. We will strike the chord. Listen, my people. They have struggled so much and claimed a lot of the time that they are in control. The situation is under control. And that only a few people are still there, but it has not worked. They spent a lot of money, thousands of billions, to organize the Africa Cup of Nations, just because they wanted to show to the world that they could host it in Victoria, in the Southern Cameroons, and that there is nothing. That's why they even dispatched Eto'o Fils, who went there and did something he called Jemanje de Soya Alimbe, Sanga de Corps. And the challenge now is on Sanga de Corps. Jemanje de Soya Alimbe, Sanga de Corps. But when we look left and right, we saw that Garde de Corps were everywhere. Bodyguards were everywhere around him. They don't tire out. They keep hoping. They keep believing. They keep struggling to convince themselves that it is possible to divide us and then tell the world that they are divided, they are finished, it can't go. But that single tweet from Tibor Nagy has sent their stomachs rumbling. But that is not all. Because today, they must grapple with all of what I announced here several times was going to come to them. That is why, listen, yesterday I shared this thought by Mark Twain, that it is easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. La République du Cameroun has fooled us, fooled our people year in, year out since 1961 to present date. Fooled and fooled and fooled and fooled. But some gullible people who call themselves elite, who are in politics, and who keep seeing mirage dangled before them, you will become this, you will become that, and who keep being given the opportunity to have access to illicit money that ends up landing them all in jail. They keep sending them to come and deceive us that the best place for us to be is not to be in our home, that the best place for us to be is not to be in Ambazonia, but that the best place for us to be is to be under La République du Cameroun as slaves. That is also how they have sent their surrogates all over to fool our people that it is best for us to be fragmented by creating governments in a liberation movement, to the point where when you tell our people that this is not what we need at this point, they tell you that you are the one telling lies. That's why I keep agreeing with Mark Twain that it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. We will have to overcome this challenge, and I trust that we will, because I know that the people of the Southern Cameroons always know how to rise to the occasion when the opportunity presents itself to break up with a system that is not working, to completely cut off from an approach that has failed. Fragmentation hasn't taken us anywhere. But at the same time, it definitely has not helped La République du Cameroun to deliver the goal they expected to have. Why? Because the people of the Southern Cameroons are feeling what we are telling them that they are going through on a daily basis. They are feeling the carnage. They are feeling, the excruciating pains being unleashed by our people, by Mr. Paul Biya Stokes. They are living with animals in the wild, in the forest, and they are feeling this. They are seeing their loved ones slaughtered before their very eyes on a daily basis, and they are feeling this. They are seeing La République du Cameroun do everything to destroy our economy, to take away the livelihoods of the people, to impoverish us all, so that at the end of the day, we come back on our knees begging them to come and continue oppressing us for other centuries. We are feeling this. My people of the Southern Cameroons, their objective, destroy everything so that we start finding La République attractive and we all run over there. That is why from time to time I remind our people who are over in La République du Cameroun that continue to make plans to go back home before it becomes an emergency. Because we are getting to it. It will soon become an emergency. I showed a picture here and a video of a brother who wouldn't listen to this, who carried money when I bought land in Yaoundé I was building. And what happened? The same riverain people from whom he bought the land came back, chased him away, repossessed the land and took everything and told him, tu es anglophone, rentre chez toi. All the investments we have in La République du Cameroun, the Beti Bulu Ekang people have already settled down and shared all of this among themselves. Make no mistake. When you come, you buy land and you are building, they are looking, they are admiring it. They are praising you. No, go ahead. You are one of us. Tu es notre frère, no? Donne-moi la bière. But they are watching you and admiring you, constructing what they consider will become their edifices when they finally rise up and chase you away with whips, as they are planning to do. My people of the Southern Cameroons, I continue to say this. I know truth is always unpopular, but I have determined that I will say it over and over and over and over. The few who do understand this and take action, you will not regret that you took action when it was still time. My people of the Southern Cameroons, this is a very grave and strong moment in the history of our liberation movement. This is the time where we must have our eyes completely open at all times. Don't blink. No, don't blink. I want to tell the people of Esu in Menchum County that I am one with you. We are one with you. It's regrettable what happened to our royalty, to our fawn and his queens. Very regrettable. La République du Cameroun does that because it is part of their playbook. They have struggled as much as possible to create proxy wars among Southern Cameroonians. And they have been looking for the weaker link all the time. And they have identified for a long time that because of farmer-grazier difficulties, the weaker link are the Fulani people. And so they continue to deceive the Fulani people and tell them, if you wage war against them, we will support you. If we subdue Ambazonia, we will make sure that you possess a lot of their land. We will make sure that you will be favored over the farmers. And that is a lie that you, my dear people, my dear Fulani people, you know. It is a lie. It has always been a lie. It is a lie today, and it will still be a lie tomorrow. What you are allowing to happen to you is you are placing yourself on the wrong side of history. Because tomorrow, you will start finding it hard to reintegrate into the Ambazonian community, a community to which you rightfully belong. Is it so difficult for you to align with your people, the people you sit side by side with every day, share drinks together? You go together to the same funerals. You go together to the same traditional weddings. You go together to the same birth ceremonies that we commonly call born house. You go together to the same streams. You go together sometimes to the same places. Some of our people are also Muslims. You go together with them to the same mosques. Some of your people are Christians. You go together with them to the same church. But you decide to listen to people of La République du Cameroon who are kilometers away, who come to deceive you, that create antagonism between yourself and these people. Who are your people? I had time to talk to Mr. Nana Sali, one of you who is based in the United Kingdom. And I told him the lies that La République du Cameroon pushes through you people, through all these manipulations, will not help. They will rather create a tense situation that should not exist. Because over the years, we have lived peacefully in the entire southern Cameroons with our Muslim brothers, to the point where some in Nigeria say the Muslims in the Cameroons, that's in La République du Cameroon and those in southern Cameroons, especially those in Ambazonia, that they are even Christians. Why? Because of the cordial nature of our relations over the years, because of the conviviality that is so among us, because we even get right to the point of intermarrying and living as a peaceful people. But now you allow La République du Cameroon to come manipulate you to the point where you spoil the peace. They will instrumentalize you, stand by and watch, and find us kill each other to their pleasure. That's what they want. They have tried that in a lot of our localities and failed. They've tried to stage that kind of a war between those of the southern zone and those of the northern zone and failed. Don't allow yourselves to be the instrument through which they pass to create this unfortunate situation. Because when you will be facing the wrath, disdain, and distrust of the people, of the peaceful people of Ambazonia tomorrow, they will not be there. They will long be gone. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated, to be used, my dear Fulani people. It's regrettable, unfortunate what happened in Isu. And I pray that this would definitely not happen again. Now, let's look at this. For a while now, in the diaspora, we have not gone out to protest. I want to talk about this before I get into the beef of our discussion. We have not gone out to protest for a long time. The time has come for the diaspora to reassume, to return to our traditional role, which is that of mobilizing the international community to support the cause of the people of Ambazonia for freedom. That is first our primordial role. The secondary role is mobilizing resources, financial and otherwise, to supply to those on the home front, in the refugee camps, to those who are in various detention centers here and there as prisoners of war, to those who are internally displaced people inside the various forests here and there, and to the voices in the bushes who need this seriously to continue to defend our communities. Someone asked me, Mr. Mbakuro, what do you think about self-defense? You appear to only talk about demonstration. And I said, and I repeat this, self-defense is a right. Self-defense is a right. If you don't know that, take your pen, write it down. Self-defense is a right. And I 100% support self-defense. It's a right. You must be able to defend yourself when you're under attack. This is what I mean. But by and large, our movement from 2016 to date has generally been peaceful. And that is why we are only defending ourselves, because we are people of peace. We have never crossed into La République du Cameroon to go and look for trouble. No, we are on our land struggling to defend ourselves. So on Friday, March 18, for all of those who are within the DMV area, by DMV I mean, you should understand I'm talking here about Maryland, I'm talking about Virginia, I'm talking about Delaware. And then for those of you who are in Pennsylvania, which is not so far off and all over the United States of America for that matter, if you can make it, please let us converge on the White House on Friday, March 18, between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. That will be on the White House. And make Ambazonia's voice heard again. Make Ambazonia's voice heard again. This demonstration is called by the SCNC, the Southern Cameroon's National Council. Remember, the SCNC is a mother organization. All other groups, movements, and organizations within the Southern Cameroons came after the SCNC, merged after the SCNC. And that's why I was very delighted that the SCNC decided to take the bull by the horns and to resume its traditional role of mobilizing, of educating, and getting the people to come together. And that is why we of the consortium, and I know all other bodies, whether you are of which of the IGs, I said so yesterday, and I said so before, whether you are of which of the IGs, forget, this is not group palaver. On Friday, March 18, is not group obedience. It is this flag you see flying behind me that we are going to meet. So come out en masse. En masse. And I talked to the acting national chairman of the SCNC, Mr. Prizo, and he said he was going to dispatch the chairman of the SCNC North America, Comrade Elvis Kometa, to come talk on this platform, perhaps this Sunday, that's tomorrow, to talk about this demonstration. But listen, my people, what I want to say is, when I talked to him and I said, how is it going to be structured? So don't get frustrated. Oh, my leader may come there and not be able to talk because it's not organized. It is a Southern Cameroon's event. Anyone who have one thing or the other to say that will light the flame, that will mobilize the people of Ambazonia, will be given the opportunity to talk. And when you're coming, have some dollars in your pockets, because when we meet there in our thousands, as I expect, we should be able to, chip in. A basket should go around. We chip in. At the end of it, what is gathered at that point will have to be shared out to all our people on the ground, to all, without distinction, to show them the spirit of which we, the people of Ambazonia, are made of, to show that we are a people who are facing a common enemy and we have a common objective, which is freedom. That is what we are looking forward to doing on March 17th. So mark the date. By the time I conclude this communication, I will talk about it again. So now, let's get into the real business of the day. Just allow me to laugh a bit, please. I laugh because the real business of the day is very interesting. La République du Cameroun is at it again. That country that has tried to create a big lie, that they were so invincible, that they will annihilate us within a matter of weeks, that they will subdue us through somebody they call Mouen, who says, tout ce qu'on va faire, on va les avoir, c'est pas la force. Let me see it and gesticulate like him. C'est pas la force. I'm sure he's confirming. Because we all saw Okalia Bilai Bernard get to Ekondo Titi by helicopter, claiming that the situation is under control. We saw the divisional officer who was claiming throughout that the situation was under control. Of course, he took a flight to Akonolinga. Because they decide to live in denial. That is why all of this are happening. I had said it several times that the mighty storm was gathering gradually, and that opportunity is close. Yesterday, in my podcast of yesterday, I talked about this. I talked about the constitutional change. And I promised that today I was going to do a lot of elaboration on that. We'll not be elaborating too much on that today because my informants are still getting to me all the details that we require to get deep into this. But like I already pointed out in my broadcast of yesterday, this constitutional change, of course, in La République du Cameroon, they change the constitution every day at the whims and caprices of their Right Royal President, Mr. Paul Biya. That's what they do on a regular basis. This time it is to introduce the position of Vice President. And they think that by introducing the position of Vice President, they will avert the impending tsunami that we know is going to operate there. And like I said yesterday, they will precipitate it. So when I come in my broadcast of tomorrow, Sunday, because I'll be on here almost on a daily basis from today on to the end of this month of March, there is so much for us to learn. There is so much for us to share. There is so much for us to get our people know, so we stay awake, so we stay mobilized towards attaining our objective. So fold your sleeves and make sure you always tell other people that they should know that we will meet here each day for this information sharing and sensitization campaign to ensure that all the people of the Southern Cameroons are aligning towards our unique objective, that is attaining independence, handing over freedom to our people. We will not push it forward. Oh yes, I said it before. We will not push it forward. So that issue of vice president, take it very seriously. Take it very seriously. Because even just among themselves, the rumbling is already going on. But I'll come back to it, like I said in my broadcast of tomorrow. But now, let's look at the other facets. Take a look at this. What you see there is a decision signed by the Secretary General at the Presidency of the Republic of La République du Cameroon, Mr. Ngongo Ferdinand. According to this decision, they were intending to get the striking teachers of La République du Cameroon to suspend their strike. And in this decision, signed on March 9, that was 3 days ago, they say the head of state has instructed that they should immediately begin paying with effect from this month of March, this month of March that we're in, and that is with respect to the pay, to the salaries of the month of March. They should begin paying the balance of salaries owed to teachers when they were integrated, because when they integrate you, listen, my people, I want to give some little explanation here. This is what happened in La République du Cameroon. When you finish training as a teacher in one of the teachers training colleges, we call Economa or ENSET, what they do is they immediately begin paying you 1/3 of your salary, and you'll be earning this 1/3 until an integration decree, a decree integrating you into the public service, is released. And once that decree is released, it is at that time you are considered a full-blown civil servant. Then from that moment, you will now start following every day to make sure they bring the remaining 2/3 of your salary, including the arrears that you have not earned for the years that you are waiting for this decree to come out. And so what happened? Progressively, as the years went by, when people succeeded in getting this decree, because some of them would take 3, 4, 5, 6 years. We saw a teacher, unfortunately he's deceased now, who said he waited 10 years and had not had it, and he finally died without having that integration decree. Yours truly, talking here. When I was integrated into the public service in 1998, my integration decree is dated January 9, 1998. When I was integrated as a senior civil servant, of course. It took 26 months before I had my first salary. 26 months. So I waited for 2 years, 2 extra months, and that was even fast before I had my first pay. Unfortunately enough at the time, because we're not many, of course, the Ministry of Communication doesn't take in a lot of people, they at least were able to pay us with back pay of what I was supposed to earn until that time. But you see, for those 26 months, I had to go to work every day. Midway along it even, I was appointed divisional delegate for communication, Kupeng Manenguba. That was on February 3, 1999. Still without pay. And I was sent to the field. I had to go working. I was running credit. And they expect you to give him full service without pay. Over the years, they only worsened this. And this is why, for a good lot of teachers at the Ministry of Secondary Education, it takes 6, 7 years for you to have a single integration decree out from the Ministry of the Public Service. Listen to what I say. Out from the Ministry of the Public Service. The integration decree. Because the advancement decisions henceforth are issued by the Ministry of Secondary Education. But even then, you will have those advancement decisions and you will not have the money due for you for advancing, because first, you are not yet receiving your pay in full regime. You are not yet fully integrated. So the woes of these teachers had been so serious, and they are in their thousands. That is why a release by the Minister of Communication was calling whatever is owed teachers, but in billions, and they don't have that money. I said here on this platform that the government of Cameroon did not have money as the business community. Ask them when they just stayed like that and they had their bills paid. No way, nada. Listen, people, if you are doubting again, because like I said before, and let me come back to this gentleman. Because when I talk, they'll come out and say, oh, you see, we went to the financial market, we wanted just 60 billion and they gave us 80 billion. That's a mark of trust because the fundamentals of our economy are strong. Lies. Because they have continued to subdue the people, not giving them their dues, underpaying them, outrightly not paying them, to give the impression to the international community that that the economy is resilient, which is not true. And that's what Mark Twain says: it's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. And that's what I kept saying here, that people were being fooled because the people of La République du Cameroon were being brought to understand that their campaign in the southern Cameroons was not costly. My people, I want to congratulate each and every one of us. We have made the cost of occupation unbearable. The people of the southern Cameroon did not wait for the international community to unleash a regime of sanctions on La République du Cameroon, to cripple the economy of La République du Cameroon, to bring that country to its knees so that they should see the need to let go of Ambazonia. We did it ourselves. We have been doing it ourselves. We have been working very hard as a people, sacrificing week after week. By simply respecting the ghost towns, my people of the southern Cameroons, you struck the chord. By simply boycotting La République the Brasserie du Cameroon, my people of the southern Cameroons, you struck the chord. You have to extend that to Guinness. By simply refusing to do some of those things that will give them the taxes, my people, you are shutting them down. Do you know how many billion of CFA they were getting from the CDC alone every month in terms of taxes? Closed. Do you know how much in terms of billions they were receiving from palm oil plantations? Palm oil plantations, yeah. I was a consultant to palm oil plantations. I know what I'm talking about. Billions paid at the treasury in Douala, not in Boya. Monthly, billions of CFA, no more. Do you know how much they were receiving from about all the companies in the southern Cameroons that have shut down? They don't have that money anymore. The cost of occupation is growing higher by the day, and we are about to attain our objective. We are about to get La République du Cameroon exactly where we had wished to get them. That is why we should not relent. You see those Monday ghost towns? That is why La République du Cameroon has fought tooth and nail. That is why when they even approached our people that let us do negotiations, that when we then met in Ghana with some of our people, and all they requested was make a symbolic uplift of the ghost towns for even just 1 month, and then let us see that it is your expression of goodwill. Then we can come to a negotiation table. Really? They have targeted the ghost town by all means because we crippled them. Do you know how much in terms of VAT they miss all of those Mondays? And because Monday is ghost town, Friday, a good lot of people don't even go to their offices in Southern Cameroon on Friday. Those that go leave before midday because the weekend has started. And it extends right up until Tuesday. Some don't even come to work early on Tuesday. They start getting to work on Wednesday. That is what we have been able to do to bring La République du Cameroon on its knees. That is why I want to hail the civil society for yielding to this doctrine of this extremely peaceful approach, while those who are doing the self-defense are doing it. My people were striking the chord. So like I explained, therefore, these teachers have gone on the rampage, and now the government issued this document and said March they will start paying, and then that in the month of May, apuré, that complete the payment, and by the month of May 2022, in a progressive manner. That's why May 2022, start making sure every person who is owed arrears of that money. Listen, there are single individuals who are owed 10 million among those teachers, and they are in their thousands. I mean, who are owed 10 million because for 6 years, they have not had a dime, apart from the 1/3 of their salaries. From 2017, it's been worse. Right up to this moment, too many of them who came out of a core normal and all integrated, they have been on 1/3 of their salaries. So single individuals with 10 million, 8 million, 11 million, 12 million, where will La République du Cameroon get this money from? Take this from me and go and fact check for those of you who are doubting Thomas's. This is March, and today is March 12th. Monday will be March 14. That's already mid-March. Until this minute that I'm talking to you, ask all those who are vote holders everywhere in Southern Cameroon and in La République du Cameroon if they have seen the credit cards, what they call carton, for the budget. Ask any of them if they have seen yet. So the budget of 2022 is not yet even in execution. 3 full months into the year. Why? They don't want people to begin engaging the budget because there is no money. Yet, they are doing one thing. They are deceiving the business people by playing this trick. They have told the business people they are installing a new software. All over finance is going on. All over finance in all the 8 regions of La République du Cameroon and all over Southern Cameroon, they are doing this. Installing a new software at the various treasury stations and saying they are not having those yellow credits or what they call carton. So they are not having them yet because they are overhauling the system. They need to wait until the start of the fiscal year to overhaul the system, to install a new software that will determine that bills must be paid according to first in, first out. That first in, first out. If your bill came in last, it will have to come out last. If it comes in first, you have to go out first. Which means if there's only 10,000 to pay and the first bill is 10,000, just that bill will be paid. The rest will not be paid. Even if somebody is dying, it's not possible for you to take from behind to come and pay. They say yes. So we're putting in place this system and to make sure. But the catch here that the business community in La République du Cameroon has not had yet is that by the time they finish installing this system, what they are already owed, the businesses have already executed on La République du Cameroon right up to this date, will fall now in arrears that will be programmed. That is the trick. So La République du Cameroon will begin only from the things that are coming in now onward. Whatever you are owed, sorry, I don't know. It's just the news that it is. I don't have any intention to bring you bad news, but that is the news. You have to grapple with it. That is the truth. You have to make do with it. That is what is going to happen. I know. For those who have already understood this, there are tears all over the place. Some are even already struggling to sell the money that they are owed by the Cameroon government to others to run away from this reality, because it's going to be shelved. And you don't know what year they ever come back to start paying it. It's going to be called arrears. And the business people collect money from the banks as overdraft. Banks in Cameroon don't give long-term credits to business people. Overdraft. So give you line of credit, as you take it attracts daily interest. There is trouble. And I say it constantly. And this is the cost of the genocidal war in the Southern Cameroons. That is the cost. I'm doing this particular show today, this program today, this platform is sending out this message today to strengthen the resolve of the people of the Southern Cameroons, to congratulate us all that despite the cacophony you seem to see, we have La République du Cameroon exactly where we needed to have it at this time. We have La République du Cameroon exactly at the tight corner it ought to be at this time. Despite doing everything to promote disorder in our midst and all, I'm thinking they could benefit from it. Nada. They can't. They don't have the chance to. So these teachers, therefore, with all these promises, La République du Cameroon will not have the money to offset that. I've said they don't have credit. Ask all those. If you know someone who is divisional delegate, someone who is regional delegate, someone director, ask them if they have received the physical credit cards to begin executing the budget of 2022. Your answer will be no. Come back to me. My people of the Southern Cameroons, I want to reiterate this here. I worked in that system for 19 years. I worked as a journalist. I was a civil servant, right? I worked as a journalist. I worked at the base as a divisional delegate, which means that I managed credit. I know what I'm talking about. I entered all the nooks and crannies of Kopeng Wanenguba, where I was a pioneer divisional delegate. I did business with that government, so I know exactly the ins and outs of what I'm talking about. I was a consultant to some of the senior state functionaries. I know what I'm talking about. I was really introduced in the entire system. When I talk here, it is because I know the fundamentals of the economy of La République du Cameroon. They are not just weak, they are crumbling. Crumbling. Don't mind the big book that you see. They'll come and say, oh, they will say, okay, they had 4% economic growth. Growth from where? They'll say, oh, the economy is resilient because resilient? Over what? Because they don't pay people what they are due. Because they rob the people to give the impression to the international community that they are able to pay the installments they can pay for some external debts. They're able to respect this. They're able to respect that by putting the people under excessive stress. Now the people have risen up. Chinua Achebe said, the thieves are taken so much that the owner finally noticed. This is where we are now in La République du Cameroun. So these promises being made to the teachers cannot be met. C'est procéder au paiement échelonné à compter du mois de juin 2022 des rappels relatifs aux avancements et classements et reclassements des enseignements. That from June 2022, they start paying. No! La République du Cameroon will not pay. They don't have the money. They simply want the teachers to call off the strike. And once the teachers call off that strike, without having these benefits, of course, they will never have them. They will have perhaps what is promised in the month of March, and not everyone will have them. Not to the full measure it has been promised. Just to set people at bay, and they will start going now systematically, privately, and picking up all the ringleaders of this strike action and snuffing them out, just like they did with that teacher who had worked for 10 years with no pay. Just to make sure that nobody will raise the ugly finger when all these promises start collapsing. That's exactly what they will do. And to fool them further, what I have in my hands here, and I guess I have it right here, because I already showed you this document. This one Gongo signed, and it's really not gone anywhere, and all of those things. And so the teachers themselves have taken note that the government of Cameroon cannot be trusted. That's why you see what they have put there. They picked this decision by Ngongo and put there 0.8 on 20. And put des travail insuffisant, des efforts imposés en travaux pratiques. Listen, travail insuffisant, 0.8 on 20, des efforts imposés en travaux pratiques. If you understand what they mean by travaux pratiques, they say des efforts imposés en travaux pratiques, they mean you need to do practical things. We need action, not noise now. Not papers, not useless papers that you go and sign. No, now we need action, not noise. Don't tell about échelonné. Échelonné is what? Don't tell them pay progressive. Pay progressively what? That is what the teachers have said there. And do you know why the teachers said that there? Because once upon a time, I say once upon a time, these same promises were made. And look at this. That's what they have written there. Il était une fois, 2017. In 2017, while teachers were on strike in the southern Cameroons, the teachers in La République du Cameroon also got up, and the government fooled them by signing similar measures. 2017. That's why the teachers have now pulled this out and come and say, Il était une fois, 2017. And this time, this was March 29, 2017, the same very month of March, the very same month of March. And this decision said, en exécution des très hautes directives du chef de l'État, always très hautes directives du chef de l'État, et sur instruction du Premier ministre, chef du gouvernement, une concertation s'est tenue ce mercredi 29 mars. That's 29th of March. I had a meeting and all whatnot. And the Secretary General at the Prime Minister's office is the same one who was there. Mr. Seraphim Magloire Fuda. And so they said, au terme, that at the end of those discussions, this is what they said. This is what they take as decision. Number one, la prise en charge financière rapide et intégrale de l'ensemble des personnels enseignants concernés à compter du mois d'avril 2017. Do you hear that? This was 2017. This other thing was signed 2017, still on the high instructions of the head of state. And they said, with effect from the month of April 2017, all the teachers who were not yet integrated, who have not received their integration decisions, will receive their integration decrees immediately with effect from the month of April 2017. Today, March 2022, 5 years after, another decision is signed, saying the same thing. They say, la mise en place d'une plateforme de concertation permanente. In short, all of what is said inside here is what has been said in this decision signed by Ferdinand Gongo. This time they even went further with this tomfoolery. Look at this other decision. This one, this communique, is signed by the regional delegate for sous-direction des affaires, service du personnel de l'État. Okay. By the regional delegate for secondary education in the West, in Bafoussam. And now he's saying that what? Le délégué régional de l'enseignement secondaire pour l'Ouest informe le personnel que 1077 arrêtés d'avancement sont disponibles dans ces services. Listen, there are 1077 advancement decisions. He's talking of advancement decisions. 1077 advancement decisions are ready in his office for teachers to come and pick them up. What are you doing with advancement decision? You want money or you want a piece of paper in your hands? And why is it that they only have to go on strike before 1077 advancement decisions come out? These are career instruments that should happen automatically every 2 years. But they will wait until something happens. They say, come and pick them up. These advancement decisions have no bearing. The mother of all this trouble with teachers is integration decree. And it concerns about 40,000 teachers. I say 40,000 teachers who are concerned by the issue of integration decree. So you put the total in terms of money. We're talking here in several billions of CFA. La République du Cameroon doesn't have that money this far. They can. The AFCON gobbled about 3,000 billion. The government doesn't have that money at this time. So you see, continuing to fool them. I just hope and wish that these teachers have now understood that the only way to do is to continue to hold Mr. Paul Biya by the balls until they get what they want. I want to congratulate the teachers in the southern Cameroons who have decided not to join this strike action, to just stay where they are, peacefully in their corners. Why? Because while they are striking in La République du Cameroon, school children getting into the streets, and while La République du Cameroon was even preparing clashes between them and bike riders on the street in Douala, if anyone in the southern Cameroon showed up the head, we will be counting the number of deaths by now. Wisdom has shown it that our people have gone wise. We have been in this for years, for many years. Way back in 1990, the southern Cameroons led the charge for change in the entire country. We were abandoned by others who took that as an opportunity to exfiltrate good positions, get huge sums of money in bribe from the Republic du Cameroon, and do what? And betray. Today, they have been caught up. The stench of what they have been sowing over the years is catching up with them. Let them fight their fights. We have our own fight. We are no longer part of them. That's why I'm congratulating our teachers in the southern Cameroons who, by staying quiet and calm and doing their things as if nothing is happening on the other side, are asserting and demonstrating to the rest of the world we are different peoples. We have no connection. We don't mind their business. Let them mind their business. Let them do whatever they care. We are not concerned. Because we have problems which are not the same like theirs. We were never supposed to be with them in the first place. That is why we are not with them now. And we will not be with them in any of the things that are happening. Now, as if that is not enough, Please, I've said for those of you who often say you don't like when I laugh because the issues are too serious, allow me to laugh out, please. Allow me to laugh out because we got La République du Cameroon exactly where they ought to be. You know, they were expecting that the news on the newspapers that will hit the charts on Monday will be whole scission dans le mouvement d'ambazoniens, that will put the picture of Comrade Sako somewhere there, put the picture of Marianta the other way, put the picture of Tabe the other way, put a picture of this un pays, plusieurs gouvernements. Unfortunately for them, there is no time for that. That distraction doesn't attract anymore. The focus today is on what is bringing that system down. Honorable Wiba, I suppose you are listening to me. You should take a glass of wine, gobble it down, send it down your throat, enjoy yourself. You prophesied in 2016 that what will bring La République du Cameroon down will be the Southern Cameroon's question if you don't let my people go. Today we are there. Folks, this other thing is here. I know you are yet to see it. All the health personnel in La République du Cameroon are beginning their own strike action on Wednesday, March 16. When the floodgate opens, the government will just become that gift of La République du Cameroon, will just become that gift that will continue giving. So from Wednesday, March 16, all the health personnel are putting down their tools in La République du Cameroon. All. Why? They have seen the government of La République du Cameroon promise billions to teachers. They too have the same problems, and even worse. They have the same problem. That is why their decision is clear. This decision came out last evening, Friday, March 11. And they are very clear. From Wednesday, they are not even given a long time. From Wednesday, March 16, Hôpital Mall. There will be no nurses anywhere, no doctors, no lab technicians, nothing. All over La République du Cameroon. Oh, gosh. I'll sit and I laugh and I'll say, Mwen should come here. You know welcome Mwen? Mwen is that son of Ona, Matthias Eric Onangini. That's what they call Mwen. She'll come here and say, Pack la force. I like to see that CPDM Aparachik, who was on Equinox the other day saying, c'est la guerre de l'usure. Monsieur Paul Biya is très intelligent, is very smart, and knows very much what he's doing. And so he knew that with time, they will crack up, their movements will start fragmenting, their governments will start multiplying, their various self-defense groups will start fighting each other, and then they will crack, and then will take over. Oh, Paul Biya is très intelligent. I shouldn't to say he's their marksman. His word is not pop-up. It is not mbamba. It's not pop-up. But you can see for yourselves. You are confirming the code now. That Ambazonia is not pop-up. Ambazonia is real. Real as in real. Gradually, slowly, steadily, we are attaining our objective. We have them where we expected to get them. Nurses in La République du Cameroon, assistant nurses in La République du Cameroon earn 36,000 CFA a month. What do you call in the US CNA? La République du Cameroon earn 36,000 CFA a month. You expect them to live on that? Nurses earn 60,000. State registered nurses, about 75,000 a month. Those that end up with a degree, what they call them, whatever, whether it's nurse administrator or whatsoever at that level, they have a bachelor's. They end up at maximum 125,000. That if it's too much a month to live on in that country. And a lot of these don't even have the money coming. A good lot of them have not been integrated. Too many of them came out from the schools. They're still waiting for the same integration decrees that teachers are waiting for. They have not had any advancements. No family allowances, nothing for all these years. A medical doctor on category A1, after going to school for after high school, they go to QSNOC 7 years. After that, they go in for specialization for another 3 or 4 years. They come out and earn 150,000, 160,000 CFA. Do you know what that represents? Less than $400. So good Lord, they earn $300 a month, medical doctor. They have said too that enough. It's enough. Beginning Wednesday, March 16. No. It's not going to be easy. This is the decision here. I guess I showed it to you. I like to show it always, so nobody should be surprised. Nobody should doubt. Listen, my people. La République du Cameroon will soon be a wonderful place to live in. And then, the mother of them all. The mother of them all is this one. Mr. What is this his name again? Let me look for his name. This is the Minister of Energy and Water Resources, Mr. Elundu Esomba Gaston. That's his face there, Mr. Elundu Esomba Gaston. I'm sure you're wondering what this picture is, and I want to thank Comrade Yembe for taking time to, arrange this for me, always put it together very well and send it to me to work with. That is what this movement should be all about. Collective efforts to work from our various angles to facilitate the work of one another to attain our objective, which is freedom. That's why I keep talking about the need for synergy, unity of purpose, collaboration. And I'll say it until you finish throwing slaps on me and everything. I will keep saying that. So, my people of the Southern Cameroons, look here. This man is called Elundu Esomba Gaston. He is ordering the ENIO, the Electricity Distribution Company of La République du Cameroon, to schedule power cuts for big companies in La République du Cameroon, especially in Douala. Did you hear that? To put in place load shedding for the major companies in Douala. And he's wishing that this should be extended to the rest of the companies everywhere in the country. Look, Alukam, it is now being recommended that Alukam, the iron smelter in Edea, that has need all alone for at least 100 megawatts of energy. Alukam to function at full capacity. Today, Alukam is functioning at less than 50 capacity. They can't function at up to 50 capacity because there is no energy. So the company is underproducing. And it is not alone. There's so many of them that can't go anywhere because of energy. I'm going to do a special broadcast here on Wednesday to talk about the energy woes of La République du Cameroon and to prove to all and sundry that the fundamentals of the economy are on sand and it is crashing. To tell the people of the Southern Cameroons, believe in your struggle, believe in your movement, believe in this liberation movement because we are attaining our objective. La République du Cameroon will soon not have the resources to give to anybody, to any scout down there. And that's a discussion for another day. Because I just said a while ago, teachers are already on strike. Those of the health personnel are joining. Before long, all other sectors will join because the only group of public workers in Cameroon that will not protest are policemen, gendarmes, soldiers. No, the military will not. Because for a long time, back in the 1990s, Mr. Paul Biya made sure that the military have a different salary scale from that of the public service. Different salary scale. You find somebody who just comes out and has first school leaving certificate. That's the elementary school leaving certificate. And they get into the army. After 6 months of training, they say they are in short, whatever grades that they begin with, whether it's corporal, assistant corporal, or whatever. They, at that moment, they get integrated, they begin earning more than a medical doctor who has gone to school for the number of years I mentioned. After high school, spent 7 years in queues, did another 4 years of residency to specialize. This guy, after elementary school, 6 months of training, he begins earning more than that medical doctor. More than. They don't have any problem Because La République du Cameroon is a military regime that people don't know. There is a book written by a Nigerian. I don't know, I've lost the title of that book, but I read it many years back, where it talks about a policy, the policy of similicy, that is civilian and military bonding together to take a people hostage. Policy of similicy. Right now, as I'm talking to you, La République du Cameroon has been a military state all these years. Mr. Paul Biya doesn't need to be a colonel. He doesn't need to give himself grades as colonel, general, no, but it's a military regime. That is why all the advantages, all the military have them. A warrant officer, what they call adjutant, earns over 400,000. But a university professor in La République du Cameroon doesn't get to that. At least you need a number of years longevity to start getting close to that. But a warrant officer, an adjutant, not adjutant chef. A chief warrant officer, I'll not forget. That's adjutant chef major. Adjutant chef major. It's called adjutant chef major. Oh my goodness. What are you talking about? So now the route is being cut. Because now, when the Minister of Water Resources and Energy says this, and he says here clear, he says this has to happen because they have to have energy to distribute in the various homes where the load shedding has led to points where some people are already striking. The load shedding is so bad now that I bet you many households in La République, not a single one, has energy for 5 hours consistently a day. And if they don't do this, the measure the minister is saying now, it may get to a point where some will be going for 1 whole week without having energy for 10 minutes. NEPA has entered La République du Cameroon. So the minister is now asking that the main industries that are producing, still giving some taxes to that economy, should stop, cut down on production seriously to rescue the government from impending serious strikes by the people because of lack of energy. So instead of looking for solutions by way of creating new energy sources to close the deficit, no, hell no, they are prepared now to shut down the economy to halt people from getting into the streets. La République du Cameroon, Oboso, my people, I know this broadcast is getting long, but I simply intended by this to let us know that we have La République du Cameroon exactly where we needed to have them. La République du Cameroon is crashing to rise no more. We will say Ambazonia is rising, rising, rising. Ambazonia is rising to fall no more. Soon they'll be singing, La République is crashing, crashing, crashing. La République is crashing to rise no more. My people of the southern Cameroons, this is time for us to do the hard work. The hard work. Our people continue to face a lot of difficulties in the various prison yards, in the refugee camps, and especially our foot soldiers on the ground, who continue to move from community to community to sensitize our people, to mobilize our people against cooperating with the apparatchiks of La République du Cameroon have run out of resources. Once in a while, I come here and ask about this because this is the intrinsic role that the consortium has been playing. And so we'll be putting out, I should say, the route through which you can support us to continue to fuel the vehicles and provide food for those who are moving on foot in the various localities where they can't have vehicles to go around and do this wonderful job, continuing to build a synergy between our people and the Amber Boys so that the betrayals, the rate of betrayals continue to fall. If you want to participate right now, to assist right now, use Amber Relief 2018 at gmail.com. You go for Zelle, just like you will go for PayPal. Like I said before, Amber Relief 2019 at gmail.com. I'm trying to write that with my ink. I will get that type. Amber Relief 2018, yes, at gmail.com. Amber Relief Write Amber Relief again here, just by itself. Amber Relief. Amber like in Ambazonia, then relief as in relief, but the relief with L. 2018 at gmail.com. Email.com. These contributions help. I don't know if you can see. Oh, looks like it's so far. Ooh, no, it's quite far. But I'm gonna bring it in my communication of tomorrow again. But if you can write Amber Relief is AMBARELIEF 2018 at gmail.com. That's Amber Relief. AMBARELIEF 2018 at gmail.com. So, my people of the Southern Cameroons, while La République du Cameroon has all of this to grapple with, like I said, I will come to talk about the energy issues. That will be somewhere about Wednesday. Like I said, I'll be here every day until the end of this month because there is so much for us to share. So I'm going to allocate this time. Going to set aside this time. It's true, I have a lot of things to do. My hands are really full, but take note, Ambazonia first, country first. I'll allocate this time to do this because we need to get there. So while the Republic of Cameroon is facing all this, they leave it. Oh no, that's not where I wanted to go. They leave it and they prefer to go, say they are talking to the governments of Russia and Ukraine. Look at that. The government of Cameroon is strictly monitoring and all. I know that they were doing this, they were trying to mock at the international community. But they're mocking at themselves. They're mocking at themselves. People, let's work together. Let's put energy together. That is why I'm sharing this from Warren Buffett. That surround yourself with people that push you to do and be better. No drama or negativity. Just higher goals and higher motivation. Good times and positive energy. No jealousy or hate. Simply bringing out the absolute best in each other. This is what I'm recommending for the people of the Southern Cameroons. Let us stop the bad blood. Let us stop the mudslinging. Let us stop the group obedience and all whatnot, the throwing of jabs and all of those things. Let us develop everything we have around us into positive energy. And this will help us to attain our objective of handing freedom to our people. With that, my people of the Southern Cameroons, we come to the end of this broadcast. And I'd like to wish all and sundry, a fun-filled weekend. It's a long weekend. Of course, we have Country Sunday on Monday. Don't forget about that. Don't ever forget about Country Sunday. Of course, you have seen the effects of Country Sunday. You have seen how it is getting us to exactly where we want to get to and how it is getting La République du Cameroon to be exactly where we want them to be. So, yes, don't forget Country Sunday. So, until this Sunday, March 13, well, I'll come back here for yet another patriotic call to say it is time to, talk the talk and walk the walk. Do have a good time. And thank you for your kind attention.